everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kate and this is Diamond Painting and Dr. Pepper, and I'm coming at you today with another WIP Chat. In my last WIP Chat, which was actually a kit up and chat, I kitted up Satura by Margaret Morales, and I mentioned in that video that I might have a surprise to open this time, and I do! So we're gonna start with that. This is a very special package from Diamond Pen Pal, and I'm going to show you what's inside. I'm so excited. So recently on Facebook, the artist Miss Holly had shared that Diamond Pen Pal had done a diamond painting pen design inspired by her artwork called The Song of the Moon. And it was a beautiful, gorgeous pen, but by the time I clicked the link, it had sold out. So I commented on the post and I said, oh man, I missed it. And Diamond Pen Pal responded and said they had one left that wasn't listed if I would like it. And I had said, yes, please. And then while I was, just a second, I'm gonna pull out the invoice. While I was talking to them about that, I also said, do you think you guys might do a pen design inspired by Margaret Morales' Satura? Because I knew I'd be doing this painting next. And they came back and said they were going to. So they said, would you like me to hold this pen until we're done with that one? And I said yes. And you guys, oh my gosh. So yeah, I got both. I'm gonna pull these out here. Oh! Okay, so first off, here is their business card. Make sure to follow them on Etsy or their website. And it looks like we've got some candy. So cute. A couple stickers. Ooh, and some hot cinnamon black tea. And they sent some wax. Okay guys, so we're gonna start off with the one that was for, or inspired by, Miss Holly's painting, The Song of the Moon. Oh, I can't wait to see this. So this is their chubby style. Oh my gosh, isn't that pretty? And they did a little roll stop on this one for me. And they asked, you know, if I wanted it. And I said I just wanted to try a little bit of one because I've never tried one before. So they did that. Look how gorgeous this is. I'm in love with the colors. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so and then for this one, they let me choose the turning style. And it cost a little bit extra because what I wanted was something asymmetrical that they don't usually offer. And they were totally willing to do that. And I super appreciate it. So, oh gosh, this is the one that goes with Satura. I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait. Guys. Oh my gosh, look at those gold stars. Isn't that perfect? And it's got some netting in there. And then this part you're seeing here, that's glow in the dark. So when the lights go off, it's gonna just glow so brightly. And look at that with this painting. Doesn't that go perfectly? Ah, I am in love, and this turning style is beautiful. So yes, those are my two pens from Diamond Pen Pal, inspired by Song of the Moon by Miss Holly and Satura by Margaret Morales. Oh, I could not be happier. I definitely spoiled myself a little bit. By the way, these did come with some single placers. They just weren't inserted. And they asked if I wanted other tips, and I declined because I have my metal placers. So I'm going to use those in the other end. But yeah, beautiful. Today I'm going to be working on a WIP Chat with you guys where I work on my diamond painting and just talk a little bit about what's been going on with me. I am working with a new setup today for my mic and my camera, both. So let me know if you could whether it sounds better. I realized I'm going to go ahead and get started here. I realized that I had my mic settings set kind of incorrectly. They had been set since the last time I did a WIP Chat where my son Fletcher was joining me. And so I had set that so that it could pick up both of our voices from both sides. And I never set it back. I'm such a noob. So anyway, hopefully now that I've set it correctly, you guys will be able to hear me much better and not hear kind of a lot of the other things that are going on around me. Also, I recently purchased a new mic arm that has like a shock base, so hopefully if I like hit the table, it's not gonna make a noise on the mic like it has been. So yeah, hoping those improvements help. Today I am working on Satura by Margaret Morales, and I am on the second row, and I'm really excited about this one. And I'm actually kind of cheating a little bit, and I'll talk about that in just a second. First, let's go ahead and grab a color. Oh, and also, the pen I'm using is the one I opened at the beginning of this video from Diamond Pen Pal, and it's so pretty. And then, of course, I'm using the Diamond Art Club tips and a Muni-Made tray. So yeah, I'm going to grab a color. And I have my camera kind of closer than it usually is, so I'm going to try not to bump it. If I do, I apologize in advance for that. Yeah, so as far as me cheating, I think, let's see, I don't remember when I talked about it, but I think I did talk about, oh yeah, it was like the would you rather tag I did. I think I talked about how I wanted to try using a wheel spinner to pick which, ooh, my lights are flashing. Guys, we'll talk about why that's happening too in a minute here, but I wanted to use like an app to spin a wheel to see which whip I should work on for that next section I wanted to do, you know? And I have been using that, and so far it hasn't rolled Satura once. And I did tell you guys that in the next WIP Chat I did, I was going to be working on Satura. So even though that is not what it picked this time, that is what we are working on. I overrode its choice. But yeah, I've been working on Satura and a non-DAC whip that I've had going for quite a while. And it rolled that one 4 out of the 5 times that I've rolled so far. So I'm getting a lot of progress done on that one, but it's a really big one, so it's going to take me a while to finish anyway. And then recently I decided I wanted, because that one's also a square, I decided I wanted to kit up a round kit so that I could have like some variety in what I was working on. So I asked Katie and my son Fletcher to help me choose out of what I had narrowed it down to for some round kits that I wanted to complete, and they actually both kind of pointed me toward the same one. So I'm working on Herbalist's Helper by Ivy Dollamore, and that's one that I've had on my to-do list for a while because I want to hang it next to Warm Witch, which I completed already, and I think they're really good companion pieces, and I have Warm Witch hanging in my house, and so I wanted to complete Herbalist's Helper to hang next to it. So I'm finally working on that one. And that's actually what my little app thing rolled for me to work on today. But I am disregarding that for the WIP Chat because I wanted to work on Satura. It's been too long. So yeah, I've been using that app for approximately a week, and yeah, it hasn't rolled this one a single time. anyway, that noise you are hearing, if you're hearing it, I don't know how my mic is working, but if you're hearing the outside sounds, that's like ice pellets. We have been gearing up for a big winter storm this weekend, and it hit last night, and now we have snow covering the ground, and we have it's really icy. There's ice pellets in it right now. It's like sleeting, and I can hear it hitting the windows and stuff. So I'm not sure if you can hear that with my new mic settings, but it's really loud. We've got all of the faucets kind of dripping so that they don't, hopefully, so that the pipes don't freeze. And we have, my husband went around and kind of plugged up all of the holes to the outside, like in the foundation. And we're just hoping that we can survive the cold. So far, so good. I did see the power flickering just now, so I'm hoping we keep power. Because, yeah, that would be kind of annoying. We did a big grocery shop, like right before, I think it was Thursday night, because we had heard this was coming, so hopefully we have enough to carry us through, because I'm not sure how long all this is going to stick around. It's pretty darn cold, so it might be a while. It was really not great timing, too, because I'm filming this on Saturday to go up tomorrow, Sunday, and yesterday was when this kind of snowstorm was supposed to hit, and I woke up yesterday feeling awful. Like, I was fine the night before, and I got up like usual to say goodbye to Casey as he was on his way to school. And I usually do that. I wake up when he's leaving and I see him off, and then I go back to sleep because I'm a night owl and I have insomnia and I can't ever seem to get to bed at a reasonable time. So I usually go back to sleep after he heads out the door. And this time I laid back down and oh my gosh, I was getting these waves of just stomach pain. And this might be a little TMI, but I have IBS, so I'm used to stomach pain. Like, I have stomach pain all the time. But this was something else. Like, I haven't felt pain like this. Like, the closest thing that I can relate it to is when I was in labor, because I was having just waves of stomach pain, like right around my belly button, and my whole stomach would clench up, and it would literally hurt so much that I was involuntarily like yelling in pain, and my body was shaking, and like I couldn't walk. I would be doubled over. I had to stay in bed. So either labor pain or like back when I still had a gallbladder and I was having gallbladder attacks, it was similar to that kind of pain, but lower in my abdomen. And just like the weirdest thing, because I don't know what was causing it. I hadn't eaten anything weird. I don't think it was food poisoning. I wasn't nauseated. I wasn't throwing up. I wasn't having any bathroom issues. So it wasn't anything that I would normally think would be the cause. And I did end up calling an advice nurse. And of course, all I was trying to do was see what I could possibly take over the counter that might help the pain, because the pain was excruciating and literally all I wanted to do was sleep. And I kept kind of like falling asleep in between these waves of pain, but then it would wake me up. So I wasn't really getting much sleep. And the advice nurse of course, said they couldn't really recommend anything for the pain because they didn't know what was causing it, and wanted me to go into the ER. And guys, like, the past few times I've gone to the ER for unexplained sickness or pain, it's ended up where nothing was really wrong, and then I've gone in and it's been a big pain and a long wait for like nothing, and then expensive too. So it's probably stupid of me, but I really didn't want to go in. So I decided I was going to wait it out as long as I could. And I called after about 7 hours of this pain. And it wasn't until, I think, around 5 p.m., so about 10 hours after the pain started, that it finally started to dissipate. So it was a long time. And of course, I was supposed to be working because it was a Friday, and so I was keeping Angie updated with how I was feeling and stuff. And they're always so nice, you know. She's like, oh, feel better, take as much time as you need, you know. But I felt bad because it's supposed to be a 3-day weekend, and I don't want to get behind. And so I was stressing about not being able to work. And also just really exhausted because I hadn't slept much before I woke up to say goodbye to Casey. And then I couldn't sleep while all this was going on because it was so painful. So I was desperate for some sleep, and I finally did. After the pain finally stopped, I finally did get to go to sleep and kind of catch up on my sleeping. But it left me super weak. I hadn't had anything to eat all day because I just could not imagine adding any food to my stomach the way it felt. And, but surprisingly, my blood sugar, because I'm diabetic, my blood sugar remained fine the whole time. I don't know why, but luckily that didn't seem to be an issue because I was worried it was diabetes related. But my blood sugar was fine. So I don't know, guys. I don't know what it was. I'm just glad it's gone. I'm feeling better today. At least I'm not in pain. But I'm still feeling kind of off. Like I don't want to move a whole lot. So that's why I'm just sitting here kind of filming my WIP Chat instead of doing the multitude of other things I could be working on. Whew. But yeah, speaking of being sick at inconvenient times, because I was worried I was going to have to go into the ER and then it was going to snow and ice and then I'd be stuck at the ER and not able to get home or something. But yeah, speaking of inconvenient times to be sick, we haven't chatted. I haven't done a WIP Chat since New Year's because last week I did my my year in review instead of my WIP Chat. So I didn't get a chance to talk about New Year's, but on New Year's Eve, we discovered our TV remote had been chewed up and we couldn't find the batteries. So that was concerning. The only possible culprit was our oldest dog, Chewy, who, I mean, yes, his name is very appropriate, but to be fair, he doesn't often chew things up anymore now that he's like 10 years old. We named him when he was a puppy, and he was very chewy as a puppy. But he doesn't often chew things up now. And so it was kind of a surprise to find this chewed up remote, and then we were worried that he had swallowed the batteries because we couldn't find them anywhere. And batteries, of course, are pretty toxic if they're like, if he had bitten one and it was leaking into his stomach, that would have been really bad. So we had to take him to an emergency vet because, of course, it's New Year's Eve and no regular vets are open. So, yeah, Casey went with me and we went to the emergency vet and he had to have some x-rays to see. They said that batteries would show up as like a glow in the dark almost on an x-ray. And they did x-rays of his stomach and his esophagus and everything else. And thank goodness there were no batteries in there. So he did not eat them. It would have been clear on the x-rays if he had. And we did end up finding them later, of course. Like days later, though. I just wish we could have found them before we had to spend literally almost $450 at the emergency vet. But that's the way it goes sometimes. Just happy New Year's to us, right? Anyway, he was acting completely normal. And everything, but we wanted to make sure, because that would have been kind of devastating if something was wrong and he had to have surgery or whatever. But anyway, yeah, Happy New Year's to us. But we got, I missed 3 J's. How many of you noticed that if you were watching? We got done in time at the vet to come home and prepare for our New Year's Eve party, where we were just going to have family over and have like a taco night and play games. And so yeah, we got home in plenty of time to get ready for that. So we had my brother and sister-in-law and their 2 sons came over, and my dad and Matt's mom, and we had tacos and we played 10,000, which is a dice game similar to, or maybe the same as Farkle. Some people call it that. We call it 10,000. I don't know if the rules are different for those 2 games or if they're pretty much the same, but that's a game that we often play when we have family over. And then we played Pirates Dice or Liar's Dice. So that was fun. And then we played a game, I don't remember the name of it, but it was a game that my sister-in-law brought. And it's really fun. It's like family trivia, like how much do you know about your family? So we all kind of sat around and drew a card, like each person would draw a card, and it would be something like, it would ask you, like, what is your favorite season? And then you had to think of the answer in your head and then say the question out loud. And then whichever one of your family members guessed correctly about what your favorite season was would get the card. And then the first one to 15 cards wins. And that was really fun. Some of the questions were really difficult. Like, some of them I had to kind of cheat and say the answer that I figured people would guess instead of the real answer, because otherwise I didn't think anyone would get like my real answer. But we had a good time. Nobody stayed until midnight. I guess we're all getting old, except for one of my nephews, Preston, who spent the night, because he and Casey are only 5 months apart in age, and they spend a lot of time together. And so, of course, they used this opportunity to have a sleepover. And they did stay up way past midnight. And of course, so did I, because I'm a night owl anyway. But yeah, and my husband actually made it to midnight too. Usually he's passed out way before that because he's an early riser. But yeah, we were up till midnight, and I had a sip, but we had some sparkling cider, and I got a New Year's kiss. So it was really nice. but everybody else was home by then. Unfortunately, a lot of our neighbors tend to shoot off fireworks for like New Year's and 4th of July. So we had to kind of calm the dogs down. It was, they hate that. So one of my nails keeps popping off and I'm trying to like keep it on for this WIP Chat, but it just might not happen, guys. Yeah, so how was your New Year's? Let me know if you guys did anything to celebrate, or if you have any traditions that you guys do for New Year's. I love to hear about what everybody does for holidays. It's been 2 weeks since we chatted, and I'm like racking my brain to think about what has happened in those 2 weeks that might interest you guys, but I think I've mentioned before that I don't do much. Like, I work and I diamond paint and I listen to audiobooks and I watch YouTube videos. Sometimes I draw, and I did draw recently, but I didn't like anything that was coming out, so I kind of abandoned it that night and decided to try again later. Sometimes the muse just isn't there, you know. But I go through phases, and that is something I kind of wanted to talk about, was my frustration with YouTube. I noticed a lot of like big creators are retiring from YouTube recently, and I'm wondering if it's partially due to like this frustration that I have with YouTube, where it kind of tries to make you into a one-dimensional person. Like, as far as your YouTube channel goes, you're really only allowed to like and talk about one subject per channel. Like, I have my art channel, but when I decided I wanted to start making diamond painting content, I knew I couldn't put it on that channel because YouTube would just hide it from everybody, or I'd lose subscribers, or not that that matters too much because I'm not even posting to my art channel, but just the fact that YouTube really wants you to kind of specialize your content and really narrow it down to one thing, and it turns everybody into, like I said, just like one-dimensional people. Like, you can't have multiple interests, and that really bothers me because I suspect I'm autistic and I have a lot of special interests, and the way my brain works is that I often kind of narrow my focus onto one interest at a time for a, period of time, and then I'm off that one and on to the next one, and I kind of do a rotation. And so part of the reason I stopped posting to my art channel was because it was just too hard for me to consistently make enough content to be able to post regularly to that one, because there are too many things that I like to do and not enough time in the day for me to do all of them. So if I wanted to do art and then edit an art video, like for a weekly upload, I wouldn't have enough time to also do like a diamond painting video, or to diamond paint, period, or play video games, or whatever else I wanted to do. And not only that, but for the video to do well on my art channel, it can't just be a laid-back speed paint of whatever I wanted to draw. It has to be some kind of challenge, or typically traditional art does better, and that's not necessarily what I'd be in the mood to do, like I don't really like watching challenge content for art. I just like watching art process. But I think I'm in the minority there. So a lot of my art content on my channel kind of had to be focused on what I knew YouTube would want to see. Because otherwise, I feel like it doesn't put it out there for my subscribers to watch. And the whole point of having a channel is to engage with an audience and have people, you know, interact with your content. And when that's not happening, then it's kind of not motivating to put up a video and spend time on it. So that's why I mostly have stopped posting on my art channel, because even though I have 3,500 subscribers over there, which is the most I've had anywhere, I feel like when I post a video there, they don't even get as many views as my videos here on this channel get, with, you know, like 1/3 the subscriber count. So it kind of felt pointless, I guess. And I'm luckily do enough diamond painting, and also diamond painting videos can be a little more chill. When I was doing art content, I always felt like I had to have multiple camera angles and like fancy editing and music. And the diamond painting community we seem to like just kind of hanging out with our friends while they diamond paint, and we can do a WIP Chat video with minimal editing, and everyone's fine with that. Like, that's what I like watching just fine. So it's a lot easier to film, it's a lot easier to edit, it takes less time, and I'm usually diamond painting anyway, because diamond painting takes a lot less brain power and focus and stress than it does to make art. And for art, that stress is multiplied when you're filming it. At least for me. Whenever I have a camera on my art, I'm always feeling a little bit of that performance anxiety, like I can't make a mistake. Even though I know I can edit it out, there's something about, you know, you can't take your time as much, because you know you're wasting your film time or your editing time, because the more you film, the more you'll have to edit. So yeah, it's just a whole different animal. But man, I sure would love to be able to like have a YouTube channel where I could post about all of my interests. Like, there are so many kinds of videos I would make depending on, you know, what mood I was in at the time, if I could have a channel where I could do all kinds of different content. And what sucks is that I know that there's not a whole lot of people out there that have all the exact same interests as me. So not everybody would be even interested in watching all the videos I'd put out. Look at this. Look at this. It's just, I'm going to take it off because it's driving me nuts. So I don't know. Sometimes it's between making no videos at all, or, you know, if it's between making no video that week or making a video about a subject that only a percentage of people would watch, I don't know which is better, but it's definitely better on YouTube to just, they want you to create consistent uploads. So that's why, even though I could have posted twice last week, I decided, like, I could have done a WIP Chat and done my year in review. I decided to just post my year in review on the same day I usually post my WIP Chat, because I didn't want the algorithm to like start thinking that I was going to start posting twice a week and then punish me for not doing that. Which, I mean, it's not a big deal, because it's not like I'm trying to make this channel blow up or anything. I'm just doing this for fun. But I do really enjoy like being able to interact with a community and talk to you guys and have that, back and forth. So I don't want to like make it so that YouTube doesn't show you my videos by confusing the algorithm or whatever. But yeah, if I had a channel where I could actually post anything I wanted, you'd be seeing videos about diamond painting, about art, about like commentary on religious topics, because I watch a lot of that, and sometimes there's stuff I really want to respond to. Video gaming content, book content, like I'd have a booktube for sure. I can't have a channel for every single special interest that I have, because they'd never go anywhere, because I wouldn't have enough time to post regular videos on each one of those topics for each of those channels, you know what I mean? So that's like my biggest frustration about YouTube right now, is that it really punishes you for being a three-dimensional person with multiple interests. So I'm wondering if that is part of the reason why some people are leaving it now, because, they've built their audience up and maybe they're tired of doing the same kind of video, or they're running out of ideas to do because they've done it for so long. Because a lot of the ones that are quitting are like Matt Pat and like higher level, really popular YouTubers. So I don't know. It's something I was wondering about. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? When I watch people on YouTube, I typically, more often than not, I watch channels where I like the personality of the person whose channel it is. And a lot of times, if they do post videos that are outside the norm, I might watch anyway, because I like their personality and I kind of want to see what they like about it. If it's something that really doesn't interest me, I might not watch that video, but I'm not going to like unsubscribe to that person for posting something that I personally don't like. I would just, at the most, not watch it and then watch the next video they posted that was more my taste, But I know that some people, I just heard someone talking about this, when they post a video that's not 100% in the wheelhouse of their channel, they'll lose a bunch of subscribers and stuff. And it's like people have no tolerance for any kind of change or like variety on someone's channel. So I just find that interesting. Kind of saddening. How about you guys? Do you watch variety channels, or do you really focus in on like very particular interests, and do you tend to like unsubscribe if somebody starts posting something that's like outside what you subscribed for? I'd be curious to hear about that. And also, what are your special interests? Like, do you have, are you like me where you have multiple interests that kind of go in rotation? For me, there's ones that are constant, like diamond painting is a constant for me, which is why it made sense to make this channel, because I knew I'd be diamond painting consistently. And also reading is very consistent for me. So I could probably do a booktube if I had enough time to make 2 channels worth of videos, but I really don't. But yeah, I don't know. I just find that a little frustrating. As far as books go, by the way, I can't remember where we left off. I think I was still reading Defiant in the last WIP Chat by Brandon Sanderson, and that is like a young adult sci-fi fantasy series, and it was the final book in that series. And I did finish that, like, I can't remember when, but it was right around, I think it might have been like the day after my last WIP Chat. I finished it, and it was a really good ending to the series. I think I still liked book 3 better than book 4. Book 4 felt a little bit short comparatively. I'm one of those people, kind of like with my diamond painting projects, I like long books. And like with diamond painting, I like big projects because I really want to like sink my teeth into them and enjoy them for a long time. So I really like long, epic novels. And I tend to like books that a lot of people think are too slow. So, and I think that has to do with, the fact that I like really digging into the world and the characters, and pretty much anything the author wants to tell me about them, I will eat up as long as it's interesting. So yeah, it felt a little short to me, the final book, but it did wrap everything up perfectly and satisfyingly. So I was very happy with it. I did give it 5 stars on Goodread because I didn't have any critiques other than I just wish there was more. And I think they are. So Brandon Sanderson worked with, I think her name is Jancy Patterson, to write those books and some of the novellas that go along with them. And I think she is going to continue the series with some of the side characters. So I might read those at some point. So once I finished that book, then I jumped into Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood, I think is the first one. And it's by Sarah J. Maas. And I think it's the only series of hers that I hadn't read yet. And I don't know if you remember, if you've been here a while, if you remember me talking about like the Throne of Glass series or even the ACOTAR series. It took me a while to get into those when I was reading them. Like for Throne of Glass, I think I didn't really get excited about reading that series until like the last 2 books, and it's an 8-book series. So it was kind of hard for me to, for some reason, to get into. And then ACOTAR, I still haven't finished all the books in that series. I've read the first 4, but I haven't read the ones that are from a different point of view, because the character that's doing the point of view is not one of my favorite characters, so I'm a little bit like hesitant to read that one. It's just not high on my priority list. But when I started reading House of Earth and Blood, I think is what it's called, I was hooked from page 1. So I feel like I finally found the Sarah J. Maas series that is for me, speaks to me. And I finished that book in like a week or less because I was really excited to listen to it and couldn't put it down. So something about the characters or the world, if you don't know, Crescent City is more of an urban fantasy instead of like her other 2 books are more regular high fantasy. And something about the way she wrote urban fantasy just clicked with me, I guess, because I loved that book. And so now I'm reading the second one, House of Sky and Wind, I think is what it's called. I get confused with all the elemental names, and I know that they're like, the third one is coming out this month, and it's called House of Flame and Shadow. I don't know. Don't listen to me, but I'm excited because I think I might be able to finish book 2 and then read that book as soon as it's out, which would be really cool. So that is my goal, is to finish book 2 in the next, it's in the next 2 weeks, because the next one's coming out January 30th. And then I'll be all caught up and ready to listen to that one. I actually, speaking of the of Defiant and the Skyward series by Brandon Sanderson that I just finished. I actually purchased that whole series in paperback form for Casey, my son, because his birthday is coming up real quick, and he just finished, for Christmas I got him the Mistborn series, another Brandon Sanderson series, and I got him Era 1, because if you aren't familiar, the Mistborn series has currently 2 sets of books. So the first 3 books are in Era 1, which is like a fantasy setting, and then the next 4 books are Era 2, and it's set further forward in time, and it's almost like a fantasy western, which is really unique and cool. And I bought him Era 1 for Christmas, and he finished them in less than a week, all 3. And then he used his Christmas money to buy Era 2, and he has already finished, well, he's on the last book of Era 2, and it's been like a week since he got those. So I can't keep enough books for this boy, but I am all about it. Like, I will support a book reading habit as much as I possibly can. So yeah, for his birthday coming up, I got him all of the books in the Defiant series. And so I think there's 4 main books and 3 novellas. So that should keep him busy for at least another week. This kid. But yeah, I'm really excited that he is liking Brandon Sanderson so much. He started with Brandon Sanderson's Stormlight series, which is kind of unusual. I feel like most people start with Mistborn because it's a little bit simpler, and Stormlight is Brandon Sanderson's like epic series that's not complete yet. He's actually, the 5th book completes the first arc of what is planned to be a 10-book series, and the 5th book is going to come out this year at the end of the year. So Stormlight's not complete, but Casey still really enjoyed it and is very excited for when the next one comes out this December. We're actually planning to go as a family to Dragonsteel Con in December to celebrate the release of that book with all the Brandon Sanderson fans. So I'm hoping that we can pull that off. But yeah, guys, that's about all I had to talk about this week. So I'm going to leave you there. I hope you enjoyed this WIP Chat, and please let me know how your New Year's went down in the comments and any of the other questions I asked. Ooh, and if you've made it this far, let me know if you're reading anything currently and how you're liking it. So yeah, appreciate you all being here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.